Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Beyond Business with Mo. My name is Mo Bayonle and I am your host on this show. Now, Beyond Business with Mo is a place where we get to learn about business strategies, business growth, and talk about everything business and in between of how we can help ourselves, help our careers as professionals and business leaders, and how we can just be best at what we do. Now, if this is your first time coming on board or watching any of my videos, I'm saying thank you for coming and you are welcome to this platform. If you are a subscriber and you're returning again today, I'm saying thank you so much for always being here. Now, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button so that you can get notified every time I add a video or drop a video. Thank you again for being here, and I am honored to be your host. Now, today, what are we talking about? I thought we should talk about why businesses fail, why small startups or why small businesses fail. So now, what are the things that affect us as business leaders or owners of a business when we are trying to build, for sustainability? Hiring. Hiring right is going to be my first on the list. Or should I say no capital, when we don't have capital. Now, this two probably contest for being first on the list, depending on where you're coming from and what perspective you're looking at it, from. So there are businesses where you can start where you don't actually need huge capital or huge fund, right? Huge funds rather as you are starting out. So for example, I'm a business consultant. Do I need money to start my consulting firm? No, actually, because this is something that is more of, up there rather than, and I could, in a world whereby everything is remote, you can actually work online, do a lot of things remotely, meet up with your clients and all of that. And as you begin to get more clients, then you now begin to get, you require funding because then you need to bring people on board and all of that. However, at the startup point, you may not need, a lot of capital or funding. Whereas if you are in a different business whereby maybe it's a restaurant business, then we can talk about capital as number one, because this is a capital intensive business. You do need funding to be able to get location. So you're looking at location. These are the kind of things you need to look at when you're planning to start up your restaurant, or maybe it's a hair, a salon or something like that. Or you are maybe an agro-cultural firm where you're going to be doing a lot of production and all of those kind of things are capital intensive. You do need location to be able to actually carry out your business and all of that. And then number one can be your capital, right? Access to funds and all those kind of things. Do you have access to funds? Or if you don't have access to funds, then how do you actually birth your business idea? How do you grow your business from it just being an idea to being reality? Then my capital, number one will be capital. However, if, as I described earlier, you are a service-oriented business, you can look at it and capital will be number two, whereby that's when you now need to look at recruiting and growing and getting a location and all of those kind of things. But then, however you choose to look at it, capital and hiring right for your business will probably contend for either number one or number two. Now, having talked about capital and you needing capital to be able to start your business and give it a go, we need to look at the people you are going to bring on board to work with. Who are those you're going to recruit when you are starting out and you have your funding and you need to start out your business? Now, a lot of times, because of budget constraints, small businesses, small to medium-sized businesses, tend to compromise on the level or standard of recruitment because they are trying to cost cuts. They just need, let me just get someone to do the job. Let me just get someone to do the job. Now, I do understand that, and I know that it can be tough, right? But if you already have a client, a paying client, right? Not a no money client, but you already have, okay, so that's just an inside joke. Anyway, so you do have a paying client. You have to think of it like the person I'm bringing on board has the capacity to triple my income or double my income or at least increase my income. Why do I say this? When you bring someone on board, the person is going to, you are combining efforts to be able to meet a demand. Now, which is why you have to pay attention to your talent acquisition, because if you don't pay attention to that, should you hire someone who is going to take away from the inflow that's already there, which means you're going to be paying the person and the person is not going to be churning out any good results, then that's a bad decision, because the person is just going to ruin the little that you have been able to come together with. So which is why you have to pay attention to what it is you're looking for. So if you have time, right, we can look at it from this perspective. If you have time to say, okay, so I have a contract or I have a client I'm working with. This client, I can handle it myself, but it would be nice if I had someone to back me up in little areas and all of that. Then you can compromise on standard and say that, okay, if I recruit a beginner, I'll be able to train that person for the person to catch up and all of that till we get to the next level. However, if you are in the middle of a contract that is demanding all your efforts, all your time and everything, recruiting a beginner is going to only frustrate you further, because you're going to realize that the support you're looking to gain or get from that person, the capacity that that person is supposed to bring to the table to double the results of what you're going to give to your client, and you also being able to get more than one client, because you don't want to base your business or income, around just one client, then you know that recruiting a beginner is not going to work for you. It's going to hinder the growth and the progress that your business can attain. So that is why recruitment is very, very, very important for small business. And why some businesses fail is just because they got the wrong hand to bring on board. So that is number one, ability to hire right. Now, moving on to number two will be lack of focus. A lot of times, you find small business owners or wanting to do so many things. So for example, I was working with someone, I was working on a project recently, and this business owner wanted to do so much. She wanted to do this, she wanted to do that. And okay, I have this, I get excited when I'm doing this and I want to do this. I call all of these shiny objects. And when you're distracted by the shiny objects, you will lose focus. When you lose focus, you're not able to give your best. Now, you have the potential. We recognize that. Write down the things that get you excited, write down the things you love to do and everything. But the one thing that you have chosen to do now, give it your best shot. When you give it your best shot and you grow that up to a very good stand-alone level, then you can bring in the second or the other ideas that you have in mind. Don't bring in too many things at the same time. It's just like when they tell you, oh, post on social media, I want to have social media presence, I want to do this. And you have so many presence everywhere. It's difficult to keep track. It's difficult to give it your best. It's difficult to be able to analyze the trend of this, and only if you have a team working behind the scenes for that purpose, then it's fine. But if you're doing it by yourself, or you have just one person doing it and all of that, or you have a team member and you're loading the team member with so much to do, they're gonna get stuck. And you realize that, okay, the person did this up to half, the person did that up to half, the person, and it's just all over. Like, you're not gonna get the great result that you're looking for. However, when you have clear visioning, focus, drive it hard towards that, make success, get success story out of that, and then begin to do other things, right? Good. That's number 2. Now, we did talk about, okay, so we have a bit of struggle with, okay, so let's say no capital, number 1, hiring right, number 2, and learning to focus for number 3. Now, number 4, good customer service. It's very, very important when you're growing a business. Now, I know that a lot of times when you're growing a business, a lot of people go overboard. I'm like, oh no, I can meet you at the point of your need. I can do this and do that. And as they begin to grow, they begin to, fall off the fall off the wagon, and like, okay, if this customer leaves, I'll get another client and all of that. No, that's bad. You start well with great customer service, you end well with great customer service. Let it be put everything into good customer service. I know that sometimes it's difficult. I know that sometimes some clients take you for granted, and they, just misbehave, ish, and go off tangent and all of those kind of things. Maintain your cool. Let good customer service be your brand story. Now, not having a team to, as your business begins to grow, you begin to, recruit people to attend to that part of the business. But as your business is growing and it's still probably you and one other person, train your staff to understand what customer service means and how they can treat and attend to clients to make them returning clients, right? Create a whole story around your customer experience. Now, there's customer service, there's customer experience, and I can tell you that customer experience glides right over your customer service, because when the customer experience is not extra, there's no story to tell there, and there's nothing to look forward to as a client to keep them coming back for your business or to you for your service, right? So put everything in it and create a fantastic customer experience. When you don't, people leave and people don't come back. And this is also part of the reasons why some businesses fail at their early stages. Yeah, so let's retrace, and let's say that we talked about no capital, we talked about poor hiring or recruitment strategy, or compromising on the level of recruitment for the business. We talked about lacking focus, no focus while developing the business, falling by the wayside, getting distracted by shiny objects and shiny ideas, and oh, I can do this, I can do that, and all of those kind of things. And then we talked about no customer service. Now, last on the list for today is lack of planned strategy. And lack of planned strategy affects almost everything. You have to be strategic when you are running a business. And that's why sometimes when you realize that you're struggling with it, it is always very good to get in a consultant as soon as you can. Work with them on a time, within a time frame of, okay, help me do this, and learn. Give that time to them to learn on how you can successfully run your business by yourself after the exit, the project and all of that. So lack of planned strategy makes you make decisions, lead to poor decision making. You're making decisions without thinking of how it affects the business. You're making decisions on impulse. You're making decisions based on feelings and all those kind of things. And it only at the end of the day will hurt the business, right? Also, having planned strategy can affect, your financial abilities or capability, the financial capability of your business, because you are not strategic with or intentional with how you are growing your money, with how you're spending your money, with how you're recruiting as well, and all of those kind of things. So it is very, very important to have planned strategy as a small to medium sized business. Even as a big business, you still always have to have planned strategy, around your business and as you grow, because it's those strategies that help you sustain your business at the different phases of the business, or wherever the business may be at the time. Okay, so a quick recap of what we have talked about today. Well, we're talking about why some small to medium-sized businesses fail. We talked about the no capital, no funding. We talked about hiring right or hiring wrong while you're growing the business, where you're trying to grow the business. We talked about customer service, right? Well, we're there. Okay, no, lack of focus. Number 3, lack of focus. Number 4, poor customer service, and poor customer experience. So customer service and customer experience. Maybe someday we'll delve into talking about both, so we have better understanding of what customer service is and what customer experience is all about. I am for experience any day, anytime. Employee experience, customer experience is the way to go. Anyway, and we talked about no planned strategy as well, and all of that. Did I miss anything out? No, I don't think so. Okay, so, and that's it from me today. Thank you again for being here today. I look forward to having you again on my platform sometime soon, and we would get to talk and learn more about our businesses and our growth strategies and everything. You take care, and I look forward to seeing you sometime soon. Ciao.